What's up, people? In this video, I'm going to give you 10 tips for staying sane during self-quarantine. Are you going insane during self-quarantine? Are you sitting at home with the same people in the same house doing nothing? You miss the sun. You miss going outside. Self-quarantine is driving you crazy, and you have finally broken down and you searched on YouTube and you're like, things to do during self-quarantine. Well, guess what? You have come to the right place, because I'm going to give you 10 tips for how to stay sane during self-quarantine right now. But before I do, if you are here for the first time, what I want you to do, subscribe to my channel. You've never seen any of my content before. However, I promise you it is not going to be disappointing. It'll be the most magical content that you've ever seen, and is going to change your life. But don't take my word for it. Subscribe to the channel so that you can see in the future. Also, if you think I'm entertaining in these first 30 seconds, click the like button right now. Just do it. Click like. Just do it. You can always click unlike later, but click that like button right now. Just do it. Great, thank you. Okay, how to stay sane during quarantine, self-quarantine. Tip number 1 is set goals for yourself. Why have you not set goals for yourself? Set goals. Just write them down on a piece of paper. They don't need to be smart goals. They don't need to be described in the most intelligent, eloquent way. You don't need to go on Google and type in how to set goals. Oh my God. You take a piece of paper, you take a word processor, and you say, I want to get ripped. I want to make a bunch of money. I want to have sex with 100 women next year. Whatever it is, whatever, I don't know, whatever your goals are. You have maybe some crazy goals. I'm not talking about myself, like who knows? I was talking about some other person's figurative example, right? That's not me. But if you do not have goals, then what are you actually doing? You're just living your life every single day, and it's kind of just like whatever happens, happens. Even if the goals are not clearly defined, just have something. You want to get famous on YouTube. You want to get famous on TikTok. You want to get famous on Instagram. Okay, fine. Write it down. Set a goal for yourself. Pick something. Start working on it. You have free time right now in self-quarantine. You can't do anything else anyway. You might as well be productive. Set goals for yourself. That's number 1. Number 2, stay busy. Just stay busy doing something. And I'm not talking about stay busy swiping on Instagram or on Facebook or on YouTube. Stay busy working on something of your own, right? This is where setting goals comes into place. If you have goals for yourself, then you can stay busy. If you don't have any goals, what are you going to do? You're either going to get absorbed into the social media, you're going to get absorbed into the news, you're going to clean your apartment for 6 hours a day. Like, just pick something and stay busy on that one thing. That is the best way to stay sane. Otherwise, what are you going to do? You're going to lose your mind. Did you like those first 2 tips? Are you planning on staying busy and setting goals as a result of me telling you to do it right now? Did that help you in any way? Click the like button. Do it. Just do it. Click that thumbs up button right now. Click it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Number 3, make a to-do list every single day. Make a to-do list. Just do it. Make a to-do list every day. This goes with the first 2. However, if you don't have the first 2, I guess you could make a to-do list. Go to the grocery store. Brush my teeth. Take a shower. Maybe, depending what country you're in. I don't know. But like, make a to-do list. Even if you don't have goals, just make a to-do list. Just write down all the things you have to do that day. Do the laundry, shave, floss. Now, I highly recommend that you have goals and you figure out stuff that you want to do, or just pick some way to improve yourself during self-quarantine. But even if you don't, which you should, and you really should, so do that also. But make a list every single day of all the things that you need to do. Okay, this is a great way to stay sane during self-quarantine. For obvious reasons, right? If you have a to-do list, instead of your focus being on how bored you are and how you have nothing to do and how quarantine sucks and all this like pandemic in the world, instead of that being your focus becomes the to-do list. And I would argue that that's a much more important focus. Number 4 is to exercise. Exercise is a great way to stay sane, even in like the normal non-quarantine world. But when you're in self-quarantine, exercise is even more important, because what else are you going to do? One of the main benefits of exercise is that it releases endorphins in your brain after you do it. And endorphins will make you feel good. So obviously, if you're sitting at home all day doing nothing, you want to feel as good as possible, because there's not a lot around that can make you feel good when you're not doing anything. So by exercising, take an hour, take 2 hours, take 30 minutes, take 10 minutes. I recommend that you take more. In fact, in another video recently, I said that I now spend 2 to 3 hours exercising a day, because there is literally nothing else to do. And by the way, exercise does not have to be you panting and breathing heavy. It can be something as simple as training your flexibility, or working on specific movements like body weight exercises, like training your handstand. And any of you who have trained handstand before, you know it is not 30 minutes of consecutive work like breathing hard and sweating. You kick up into a handstand, you do it for 15, 20 seconds, and then you're like exhausted. So you take 2 or 3 minutes break. Maybe you watch something on YouTube. Maybe you have a video going on in the background. Maybe you're sending emails to your friends, or you're on Facebook, whatever you're doing. I don't know. But exercise, very important, number 4. Number 5, eat healthy food. This will help keep you sane during quarantine. Why? Because if you eat junk, you will feel bad. If you eat junk food, you will feel mentally bad, because you will feel physically bad. If you feel physically bad, it will be very hard for you to stay sane during quarantine, right? You're self-quarantined, you're stuck at home, you're not doing anything. Does it make sense to make the problem worse by eating bad food? Or does it make sense to eat healthy food that will make you feel good? This is also a great time to start eating healthy food, don't you think? You have nothing to do anyway. Why not, eat something good? Think about it like this. Think about it like this. Let's say you have 2 choices. You can either eat something unhealthy or something healthy. If you eat something healthy, you will feel not good, let's say, for an hour, and you'll feel good for 24 hours afterwards. If you eat something not healthy, you'll feel really good for that hour when you're eating it, or 30 minutes or 2 hours or whatever it is, and then you'll feel like garbage for the next 24 hours. So which one would you rather have? Would you rather have 24 hours of feeling good or 24 hours of feeling bad? The choice is easy to make. Number 6, stay away from social media. With the one exception being if you have a brand or company and you are creating content for social media. If you are not creating any sort of content for social media, you should stay away from social media. Don't browse it mindlessly, especially in self-quarantine where you are losing your mind anyway. Are you going to go, you're going to scroll, you're going to read all these people talking about what's going on in the world right now? Honestly, actually, why do you need to know? You're stuck at home, you're in self-quarantine, you're doing nothing anyway. Do you really need to know what's going on? The people who are in charge are going to decide when we can come outside. Businesses are going to reopen. It's all going to happen at once. Do you need to keep your finger on the pulse and know exactly what's happening at every single time? Do you think that is really worth your mental health? I don't think it is. It's not worth my mental health. And furthermore, I have more productive things to do, more important things to do than sit and absorb social media this entire time. So, number 6, stay away from social media. Number 7, this is very similar to the last one. Do not watch the news. Do not watch the news. Stop watching the news. Stop. The news is bad. News corporations are evil corporations that exist solely to manipulate you into watching them. And they disguise this as them reporting on the story, when in fact, all they do is report negative aspects of stories that are negative, I guess. The joke, what's the joke? You'll never see a headline of a newspaper that says everything is great in the world and everybody's feeling good. No, it's always like this person killed someone, this person got arrested, unemployment is up, all these people, all these terrible things happen. And what it really comes down to is selective focus, right? The news has figured out a long time ago that people will focus on bad things, right? Why? They say this is from an evolutionary standpoint. If you're in the jungle and you hear a tiger, or you think you hear a tiger, you're going to look really quick. It's going to be very urgent for you to look, because if you hear a tiger and you don't look, then you're dead, for example. Whereas if you hear some people celebrating and having fun, it might not be that high of a priority to you to go see what they're doing. You might be curious, you might be interested, but it's not as high priority as a tiger or as a threat. And these news corporations have figured this out, that if they imply a threat, that people are more likely to click, and they're more likely to have an emotional response that will get them more engaged in what's going on. They do this strictly for profit, 100% for profit. If you watch the news, if you consume news media, then you are also watching their advertisements. They're evil people. They should be ashamed of themselves. They have no soul, especially with what's going on in the world today. Do not give them any attention. Ignore them completely. Hopefully they will go away. Do you already ignore the news? Are you already doing this? If so, leave me a comment. Tell me when you started to ignore the news. Have you been able to stop ignoring the news during quarantine? Let me know. Leave me a comment. I will give you a shout out. I love you. Number 8, keep your apartment clean. This is very important for keeping yourself sane during self-quarantine, because if you do not have a clean apartment, if you have garbage everywhere and there's trash and you have empty pizza boxes and you have dirty plates and food crumbs in your kitchen and your room is a mess, you have dirty clothes everywhere, that is going to make you much more uncomfortable, even if you don't acknowledge it outright, than somebody who has a nice clean room. For those of you who are still living at home, when your mom comes in and she cleans your room, don't you feel better? right? You feel better right away. Or when your wife comes in and she cleans your room, or when on the rare occasion you clean your own room on your own. Don't you feel better as opposed to when you have garbage everywhere and old food smelling up your place? Clean your apartment on your own every single day. It does not take a lot of time. It will go a very long way to making everything else in your life that you decide to do during self-quarantine much easier. Number 9, do not let yourself go physically. Do not do it. Okay, the moment you start letting your discipline slip up a little bit during self-quarantine, it will create a snowball effect, right? This is why, normally I shave every day. Haven't shaved today, but even now, despite the fact that I don't have anywhere to go, I'm not going to work, I will shave every day. I will brush my teeth every day. I even started showering every day. Crazy. I started showering every day. I never shower, but now it's like a discipline thing. Like I have to shower every day. I have to, what was the other one? Shave every day. I have to clean my room every day. I have to do all this stuff every day. Not necessarily because, is there really a benefit to me shaving? Probably not. It's the discipline aspect of it, of not letting myself go, of saying to myself, yes, I know everybody, we're in self-quarantine right now. However, I still think it's very important to retain some sort of discipline, because when this ends, I don't know about you, but I'm going to jump back right into life ASAP. I'm not going to slowly ease into it. I'm planning on coming out of this better than I was when I went in. And honestly, I see this whole self-quarantine thing as an opportunity for me to make myself better without there really being any negative effects of staying at home and not working, even though there are, but much less so because everybody else is also doing that. Number 10. Now, before I tell you number 10, what I want you to do, if any of these that I've already gone over have been helpful for you, set goals for yourself, stay busy, make a to-do list, exercise, eat healthy, stay away from social media, don't watch the news, keep your apartment clean, and do not let yourself go. If any of those have been helpful, do me a favor, please. Number 1, like the video. Number 2, if you are not subscribed to my channel, click subscribe. Number 3, if any of these in particular have been helpful for you, leave me a comment. Let me know specifically which one has been helpful for you. If none of them have been helpful for you, leave me a comment. Let me know what you would like me to talk about that would be helpful for you. Do it right now, and then I'll tell you number 10. Do it. Do it. All right, thank you. Number 10, pick a new skill and commit to learning it. Like I said earlier, we are in self-quarantine right now. There's nothing we can do about it. We are here. We are stuck here. It is illegal to go outside. You will get arrested. You will get a fine. Nobody wants that. Don't fight it. It is what it is. Eventually, the people in charge, they'll realize that this is stupid and they'll stop doing it. It will happen. However, now you have a month or 2 months or maybe 3 or maybe even 6 to learn a new skill that will serve you very well when this is all over. Maybe you want to learn a new language. Maybe you want to learn a physical skill. Maybe you want to learn how to be a computer programmer. Maybe you want to learn, web design or some sort of internet skill. I would recommend an internet skill, to be honest with you. The way things are going right now, you never know when all these scared, stupid people will succumb again to the influence of the media. And we'll decide that, oh, hey, guess what, everybody? Some people die. Some guy ate a bat in China, and now we have to shut down the entire world because a bunch of old people died in Italy. No offense, respect to my Italian people out there, but come on, let's be real. Okay, if this video was helpful for you at all, click the like button, click the subscribe button, leave me a comment. Let me know exactly why you liked it so that I can make more videos like this in the future. Cool. Peace.